Alright, welcome to the world of digital field biology. So where am I today? I'm at the corner of 18th Street, looking right at it, hopefully right now. And, well, a number of cross streets. Looks like it's either 10th Street or Smead Boulevard or Ravenna Trail, or here it says County Road 54. Now I'm going to cross the road. I'm going to head right for a sign right across the way here. That'll help us understand why we're at this place today. I'm at what we call a Minnesota Scientific and Natural Area. So here's the sign right here, Scientific and Natural Area. So they call it that because there is something of interest here that's scientific. Here it's the amazing biological diversity. And also it's of interest because it's a natural area. So that means that there are no trails whatsoever here. You can walk wherever you wish, which is great in my book. So it's scientific and it's natural. It's a scientific and natural area, or a lot of people just say it's an SNA. Now at the corner of Ravenna Trail or Highway 54 and 18th Street, this SNA is the floodplain forest. So I'm going to walk in a little ways here, and I'm going to help you understand what a neat place this is. Off the highway now, a little quieter hopefully, and hopefully we'll get a little sense as to what this place is actually like. Well, there are three things of interest at the Floodplain Scientific and Natural Area. One is that this is a very challenging place for life to exist. The second is that it's a very important part of our area because of its floodplain capacity. And the third is that it's extremely biologically diverse. So let's tackle that first one. Why is this place difficult to survive? Well, if I kind of point to the ground a little bit, you can start to understand why. Part of it is that in the fall and in the winter, this is high and dry. You can walk right through here, not a problem. You can throw on your tennis shoes and walk right through. So high and dry and very well drained. But then, in spring, things change dramatically. And what was once high and dry and very well drained becomes a flood plain. So now you can see with the camera here that it's quite a different place in springtime. Actually, right standing here on March 30th, it really isn't that flooded. I was surprised when I walked down. Usually at this point it would be up to the top of my waders. So I'm a little surprised this year, but it still nonetheless gives you a sense as to how it really reverts back and forth. If you look ahead here, there's a male and female mallard that are swimming right ahead. I don't know if you can catch that on the camera or not. But in any case, this is a very challenging area because it flip-flops, it reverses continually between very, very dry and very well drained to very, very wet and saturated soil. So it's a very challenging place to live. So the second thing that I wanted to chat on with the floodplain forest was its amazing capacity for floodplain function. So this place acts like a sponge. So imagine, let's say, sopping up a glass of spilled milk on your countertop in the kitchen. That sponge absorbs all of that excess milk. And the same way here, when you're down in the floodplain forest, the beauty of this place is that it absorbs all of those springtime rains, all of that excess water coming from all of the rivers that course through Hastings, the Vermilion River, the St. Croix, and of course the Mississippi River. So this place is absolutely critical in assuring that we're sopping up, that we're absorbing, that we're sponging up all of that excess spring water. So really two things so far. One is that it's a tough environment. switching between dry and wet, and it's also a critical environment in that it's that sponge of the Hastings area, and of course all up and down the Mississippi watershed. Now how about that diversity? Let's attack some of that diversity next. When you come down to a place like this and you start looking at the trees, there are a number of species, but not that many. I would say half a dozen to perhaps 10 different species. There just are not that many. And again, part of that is because it's a tough place to survive. Imagine a tree being wet 6-10 feet up its trunk and then high and dry. How many trees can survive that? So I'm just going to do a little walk around here, and I'm going to help you understand some of the basic trees that you might find in the floodplain forest. Let's take a look at this one right here. So this tree right here is a silver maple. There's a little sign of spring right there. Looks like some kind of injury to the maple and sap is coming down. Now if you look at the bark on this guy, it's kind of a flat gray and a little bit of shagginess to it. As it grows older, it'll be more and more shaggy. So this is a silver maple, or a Acer saccharinum. I have a picture here that I can show you so you know what the leaf looks like if we were to come back in the full out spring. So take a look at this. Silver maple has got 3 lobes, and each of the lobes is very, very deeply indented. There's some big teeth that make up the perimeter of the leaf. So this is silver maple, or Acer saccharinum, one of the typical trees that you'll find down in this area. I'll walk around a little bit more and find some other tree species that you might find down here. This is a typical one right here. It's just starting to grow, kind of a young guy at this point. This is an American elm. So this is Ulma americana, typical tree species that can actually survive down here. Take a look at the bark and how it differs from the silver maple. Maybe a little lighter, maybe not that soft gray of the silver maple. And I'm going to see if I can't find a picture of that American elm. Got it now. Here we go. This is the American elm. So when you look at it, the leaves come off the stem alternately, unlike the silver maple where they come off oppositely. One of the key things about American elm leaves is that they're asymmetrical. So if you look at the bottom of the leaf, one side is higher than the other. It's asymmetrical. Now, I don't know if you can really tell in this photo or not, but the other key characteristic of American elm is that the leaves are double serrated. So it's like big tooth, little tooth, big tooth, little tooth, double serrated. That's the American elm. Really a beautiful place down here. I'm just going to walk a little bit and see if I can't find another tree that's of interest. This is a perfect one right here. Let's take a look. So this is an eastern cottonwood, and you can feel the girth of this guy. Actually, it's a small one. There are trees down here, eastern cottonwoods, that are easily double the diameter of this one, but I just happened upon this one, so I thought we'd take a look. Look at the bark. It's really deeply fissured, much more fissured than, let's say, that American elm, or certainly than the silver maple. So it's got those deep, deep fissures on it. Looks like the ridge top of each of the fissures is kind of highlighted by a light color as well. So this is the bark of an eastern cottonwood. Again, I'm going to see if I can't find a photo of this. Perhaps I can help you understand what the leaf looks like. Here we go. So this is eastern cottonwood. When you look at the leaf, you can notice that it's very triangular, and it's got rounded teeth. Based on that triangular idea, this tree is called Populus deltoides, as in delta, as in triangle, or if you're into anatomy, the deltoid muscle. So this is a triangular leaf, it's Populus deltoides. If you were to pick it up, the other key characteristic is that it's got a really, really thick layer of cuticle, kind of that waxy layer that's designed or adapted to shed water readily. Eastern cottonwood. I'm going to walk a bit again and see if I can't find some other trees down here that are typical to the neighborhood. In fact, I think I'm going to go for a walk in the swamp here. It's a beautiful place, really. Cool water, all the leaves decomposing from last year. Beautiful place. Kind of a rich menagerie as well of live trees and dead trees. And of course you want those dead trees because they form habitat, like here for example. Here you've got some old trees that are rotting, decomposing, releasing their nutrients, bringing them back to the environment. Constant cycle of nature. While I'm walking, I think I'll talk about some other things. This place is rich not only to trees, but it's a place that's rich for wildlife.